If we step out of your course reviewer role and step into you guys as judges when you're out there judging events, for designing courses, where do you get most of your ideas for your course designs?
Well, I teach classes all the time, so a lot of my design ideas come from that, and then I study courses, both ones that come into me, other ones from around the country, ones that are in Europe. I try to stay on top of a lot of different trends, and what I can do to advance those trends, or that's the way I do it.
My ideas come from previous courses I've run. If I'm looking at a course and something's running a certain way, I'll think, or I may see somebody do something different, maybe going off course, but I'll think, maybe there's a way I can utilize that in my next course. It's usually about the way I'm looking at something on a previous course that makes me decide to use it a different way on a new course.
I will modify a lot of my courses that weekend as well. Or I'll take a 6 to 8 obstacle sequence that I really like, and I'll start with that, as Janet said, as my seed, and then build around it and see how that works.
As a course designer, and you're out there and you're watching people run your courses, and you see some things that work really well, and then you see some things that don't, or might not work as you thought they would when you designed the course. What's the most memorable design element that you put in a course that once it was run you said to yourself, I'm never going to do that again?
Well, I think the most macho person on the planet is a brand new master gambler's judge, because they've designed some, and I was as guilty of this as anybody. My first master gambler I ran was this it was an X pattern, which meant that you had an off course or discrimination at every point, and it was like, okay, I think I was a little bit too aggressive on that one. I'll never do that one again.
My worst one's probably the dog walk, where they had to repeat an obstacle behind me after doing the dog walk, and so I was pretty much in their way.
I ran into you once doing that.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it.
Actually told me to get up.
Didn't even help them up.
Oh, no.
That would be my worst one, I would say.
Was that in 1997?
No, 97 was a pivotal year for...
I actually like that sequence.
You must have made it through.
I did. the one that I remember, it just happened to come up on a course. I had a long jump into a double into the chute, and look, final paper. Here's where what happened was the big dogs were a long jump. They were landing low, then they had to jump high over the double, and then duck back down to the chute. And just like, I was like, please make it. Oh, okay, they did. And that's just one sequence that I won't ever do again.
I've come across that one as well myself, but Tim's idea with you doing the dog walk, and I want to get there and judge the bottom of the dog walk, and then, oh darn, they're turning back towards me, and yeah, I won't do that again. And then somewhere along the line, oh crap, I did that again. What did I not learn?
I think your mistakes are magnified based on the size of the class as well. If it's a 100-dog class, you remember every one, and you take it back with you. I will never run that path again. I will never run that path again. And then sometimes you do anyways.
Yeah.
But
I like to think of the course design guidelines document as here is the accumulated knowledge of all these things not to do.
What do you find most rewarding about designing courses and getting out there judging?
I look at course design as a puzzle, and I like it when handlers can solve the puzzle, and of course some won't. Some do it in a way completely different the way I thought it would be done. So to me, solving the puzzle is probably the best.
I think there is so much creativity. I mean, you think about it, we're given so many obstacles to work with, and we're given basic ring dimensions, and everybody submits courses that are totally unique. You know, out of all the years that that agility's been around, I think I'm never amazed to see new ideas and creativity on the courses. So I like that part of it a lot.
And then you see 5 ways to run that same sequence, right? It's not, this sequence is always run the same way.
I feel good when I see that on my
Yeah,
course.
when you succeed, when people could succeed running that same sequence in 3 or 4 or 5 different methods, that's what I really like to see.
We've all had it where the very top handlers in the country all can go out and just do great on every course. It's always best when the average handler has been struggling for years trying to get the last master standard course, and they just come out and they just ace your course, and they're so excited, and that's just a great feeling.
Yeah, sometimes I'll look at my courses over the weekend as a set, not as an individual course, and I make sure that different things are tested on each course. And if I've got a handler who's able to really do well on every course, I'm in awe of them at how varied their handling abilities are, that they can handle all of those different challenges across a range of courses.
And it's nice to give back. You know, it's nice to go out there and help people along the way, no matter what level they're at. Whether they're the competitors that have questions about your courses, they want to learn more about courses, whether it's the new judge that has questions or wants to learn, or if it's the seasoned judge that you're just out there. You know, I view this as my way of helping out, of giving back to the sport. I mean, none of us in here are going to get rich doing this. None of us like all the travel headaches, but there is something here that we all have in common, and I think that is the love of the sport, the love of the dogs, and I think that's what really helps us and the sport keep going.
So if somebody out there wants to become a USDA judge and they want to learn more about course design, what would you have them do to start learning about the principles of designing for the different levels and the different classes in USDAA? Well, what should they do to
I think
start?
there's two things they can do right off the bat. Let's talk to a judge in their area about those ideas and read the course design guidelines all the way through.
I'd add a third to that. So you nailed the first 2, and the third one would be going to a course design clinic. I mean, those are open to exhibitors as well and competitors, not just someone who wants to be a judge.
But as the third element, do the first 2 and then come to a clinic and get a better understanding of how those elements work.
Go to shows, work,
Yes.
work, and in the rings, it allows you to sit ringside and actually see the course layout and see how it runs.
Help build courses.
Learn course building, learn scorekeeping, you know, learn all the different aspects of the things that all the judges need to know, and that you're going to need to know when you do come to a clinic.
It's part of the testing anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you have the opportunity, go judge a match or judge,
That's
you know,
what I was
do
gonna
judge
say.
at
Yes.
a training session.
Intro
Yes.
class.
And just to practice.
Yes. Intro classes are
Intro.
there, and believe me, instructors will never take it badly or if you offer to design a sequence for them to train on that night, because that's a really good way for you to test out an idea. And I've had prospective judges, sometimes they'll come into class and I'll say, this is a good time for you to practice your contact judging. And it's just a class setting, but you can use practice at that type of thing.
I guess the big thing is the more you do, the more prepared you are when you come to the clinics. You know, it just makes it that much easier.
As we wind down here and we've got flights to catch, I just want to know, any other final comments or words you have on people considering to be a judge?
All right, I think we hit most of the spots. Let someone know you want to do it. Let another judge know you want to do it. I can't think of a judge that wouldn't be willing to help. Very open-minded about helping.
Any other final comments on course review? or about this weekend and what we accomplished? Or
Oh,
didn't
good
accomplish?
question.
Mike's afraid to say, get your courses in on time.
What did we learn about the guidelines?
They're only guidelines.
I would say one thing on tape, now that I've thought about it, and that is that this is an incredibly dedicated group of people that I really enjoy working with.